Hello everyone, wishing you all good health and peace in life. There are moments in life that shine brighter than others, not because of luxury, but because of love. For Huyen, today marks one of those moments, the first meal in her new kitchen, the heart of a home she once only dreamed of. On this housewarming day, as the fire crackles and the simple dishes are laid on the table, laughter replaces the echoes of past struggles. Dee sits beside Huyen, and little Maya's eyes sparkle with joy. For this meal is not just about food, it is about the beginning of a peaceful life they have longed for. This housewarming meal is a promise that in this new home, built on sacrifice, love, and quiet strength, Huyen, Dee, and Maya will finally find the warmth and peace they deserve. The scent of incense drifted softly through the little courtyard, carrying with it prayers of gratitude and hope. Huyen stood before the offering tray, her hands trembling slightly as she bowed her head. Today was not just another day, it was the day she and her small family celebrated moving into their new home, their new kitchen, and a new chapter of life. Beside her, Dee carefully adjusted the altar. His hands were calloused from days of labor building doors, fixing the counter, shaping wood into sturdy furniture, but his eyes shone with quiet pride. For him, every nail and every hinge was more than just work. It was love, poured into the walls that would keep Huyen and Maya safe. Maya, her school bag still slung over her shoulder, skipped happily around the yard. She had been praised at school that morning for helping her teacher, and now she was even more excited. "Mom, Uncle Dee, look at our house, it's so beautiful. Tonight we can sleep here." The ceremony was simple yet deeply meaningful. Huyen lit the incense and spoke softly, her voice full of sincerity. "Today our family offers this humble meal to our ancestors and to the guardian spirits of the home. May this house bring peace, health, and happiness. May it always be filled with laughter and love." As the last stick of incense burned down, the family gathered at the table. The chicken glistened golden in the lamplight, the sticky rice smelled warm and fragrant, and bowls of steaming broth were placed neatly before them. Maya clapped her hands. "It's the first meal in our new kitchen. It smells so good." Dee gently placed a drumstick in Maya's bowl. "Eat well, little one. Growing strong is the best blessing for us." Huyen smiled, watching the two of them. Her heart swelled with emotions. She could hardly put into words gratitude, relief, and the fragile yet steady rise of hope. The first bite tasted like more than food, it tasted like home. After years of hardship and wandering, they were finally sitting together in a place they could call their own. The walls were humble, the roof was simple, but the warmth inside was immeasurable. That evening, as the crickets sang outside and the moon shone gently over the yard, Huyen whispered to herself, "This housewarming meal is not just the beginning of a new home. It is the start of the peaceful life we dream of for Maya." And in that quiet, blessed moment, Dee, Huyen, and Maya shared more than food. They shared the promise of a future built on love, resilience, and peace. The meal went on with laughter, little stories, and simple joys. Maya, chewing happily, pointed at Bibi, who was sitting patiently by the doorway. "Mom, Bibi also wants to celebrate the housewarming day," she said, giggling. Dee picked up a small piece of chicken and placed it in Bibi's bowl. Even Bibi is part of this family. He has walked with us through the storms, and today he also deserves to enjoy this happiness. Huyen watched them both with a tender smile. The sound of rain began to fall gently on the roof, not the stormy, leaky rain of the past, but the soft, rhythmic rain that now brought comfort. For the first time in years, she didn't have to worry about buckets placed under dripping ceilings or the cold wind blowing in through broken walls. After the meal, Huyen cleared the dishes while Dee arranged the bedding in the new room. The wooden door, freshly built by his hands, closed firmly. Inside, the little room glowed with the warm light of an oil lamp. "Maya," Huyen called softly, "come. It's time to study before bed." Maya sat at the small table, her notebooks and pencils neatly lined up. Dee leaned over to help her with her homework, guiding her hand as she traced letters on the page. Huyen sat nearby, mending a piece of cloth, but her eyes often lifted to watch them, her heart overflowing. Later that night, when Maya finally drifted off to sleep, Dee and Huyen stepped outside to breathe in the cool night air. The rain had stopped, and above them the sky was clear, a full moon resting gently on the horizon. Dee spoke first, his voice quiet but steady. "Huyen, I know life has not been easy, but I promise you this home, this family, I will protect it with everything I have." Huyen looked at him, her eyes shining with tears that she quickly wiped away. "Dee, I don't ask for much. Just peace, just the chance for Maya to study, to grow up without fear. That is enough for me." He nodded, then reached for her hand. The warmth of his touch told her that they were no longer wandering souls, searching for a place. They had found it. Inside, Maya stirred in her sleep, murmuring happily, "Mom, Uncle D," as though even her dreams carried the sweetness of the day. The new home, simple yet strong, stood quietly under the moonlight, holding within it the promise of tomorrow, a tomorrow of work, of school, of meals shared together, and above all, of peace. The next morning, sunlight filtered gently through the cracks of the new wooden window. A rooster crowed in the distance, and Bibi barked softly, as if announcing the start of a new day. Huyen woke first. She looked around the room, still hardly believing that this house, solid, warm, and safe, was truly theirs. Maya was curled up beside her, still asleep, while Dee lay on the other side, his arm resting protectively over both mother and child. She whispered to herself, "Thank you, ancestors, for giving us this blessing." Not long after, Maya stirred, rubbing her eyes. "Mom, is it morning already?" "Yes, darling," Huyen smiled. "Get up, let's wash and have breakfast before school." In the small kitchen, the firewood crackled. Huyen cooked a pot of sweet potato porridge, simple but warm. Dee carried water from the jar outside, pouring it carefully into the basin he had built for washing. Maya laughed as the cool water splashed on her hands. "Eat quickly," Huyen reminded her gently. "We mustn't be late for school." After breakfast, Dee took Maya by the hand. "Let's go, little one. I'll walk you to school today." Maya's face lit up. She loved when Uncle D came with her. It made her feel proud, as if her family was whole and strong. On the way, Neighbors waved and congratulated them. Congratulations on your new house, Huyen. May your family always be happy. Huyen bowed her head humbly. Thank you so much. Back at home, after sending Maya off, Dee returned to work in the garden. He cleared grass, measured space for a chicken coop, and planned where to plant vegetables. Huyen came out to help, her conical hat shading her face. Together, they worked side by side, sweat on their brows, but smiles on their lips. Dee, Huyen said as she wiped her forehead, with this garden, we can grow enough vegetables and raise chickens. Maya will always have food, and maybe one day, we can even sell a little at the market. Dee nodded. Yes, and when Maya grows older, she'll remember that her home was built not with riches, but with love and hard work. That afternoon, the rain returned, tapping gently on the roof. But this time, there was no fear, no worry of leaks. Instead, Huyen and Dee sat by the doorway, watching Maya do her homework on the table, while Baby lay at her feet. The new home was no palace, yet to them, it was more precious than anything. It was a promise kept, a dream made real, a safe shelter where their little family could finally grow in peace. As the evening bell from the village pagoda echoed across the valley, Huyen looked at Dee and whispered, "This is the life I always prayed for." And Dee answered quietly, "It's only the beginning, Huyen. From here, our true journey begins." The days passed quietly in the new home, each one bringing fresh joy. Morning after morning, the family settled into their gentle routine. At dawn, Huyen would rise to sweep the yard, her broom brushing away fallen leaves. The cool mist clung to the bamboo fence, and the first rays of sunlight painted the roof golden. Soon after, Dee would step outside, carrying a hoe over his shoulder, ready to tend to the garden. Maya would follow, her school uniform neatly pressed, her laughter bright as a bird's song. One morning, while Huyen prepared breakfast, Maya ran into the kitchen, holding a flower she had picked from the garden. "Mom, look, this flower is for our new home. If I put it here, our house will always be beautiful." Huyen bent down, kissed her daughter's forehead, and gently placed the flower in a small vase on the table. "Thank you, Maya. You've already made this home the most beautiful place in the world." After breakfast, Dee walked Maya to school again. On the way, she skipped and swung his hand. "Uncle Dee," she asked curiously, "will you always stay with me and Mom?" Dee paused, his heart tightening at her innocent question. He knelt down and looked her in the eyes. "Yes, Maya, I will always be here, building this home, protecting you and your mother. That's my promise." Maya grinned and hugged him tightly before running into the schoolyard. While Maya was at school, Dee and Huyen worked tirelessly. They built a small chicken coop in the back garden and planted rows of vegetables, morning glory, mustard greens, and coriander. As they worked, they laughed, teased, and shared quiet moments. It was not wealth that filled their hearts, but the peace of building something lasting together. That evening, heavy rain poured across the valley. Thunder echoed, and water rushed down the hill. But inside the house, the family was safe. Huyen lit a small oil lamp, and the warm glow filled the room. Maya sat between them, doing her homework while Baby slept nearby. The sound of rain outside was no longer frightening, it was music, reminding them that their roof was strong, their walls sturdy, and their hearts united. After Maya had fallen asleep, Huyen and Dee sat quietly by the doorway, listening to the gentle patter of the rain. "Dee," Huyen whispered, "sometimes I still can't believe this is real. I never thought I'd have a home where Maya could grow up safe." Dee reached for her hand. "It's real, Huyen, and it's only the beginning. Tomorrow and the day after, we'll keep building. For Maya, for us." The rain softened into a drizzle, and the moon appeared through the thinning clouds. Under that silver light, the new home stood firm, a symbol of hope, love, and the peaceful future they were determined to create together.